Good afternoon, everyone. Good morning. We are back today with our show. This is new talk show as we have, and with producer Mr. Go very far. I'm going to say get well soon, our producer Mr. Brian. Today we are back with our program, and I'm Dennis, the host of today's show, and together with my panelists, I'm going to invite them on the screen also to introduce themselves, then we shall come back with our topic. Thank you.
Hello, our viewers.
Please don't forget subscribe. Don't forget subscribe. Don't forget to like, commenting as we move together, because your comments are very important to us. We are very sorry. I think we are facing network problem. We are having our networks are very nice. Some of the networks are off with us till we finish this show. I'm going straight to, I think, as my panelists are coming, I think they are facing network problem. I'm going to give something about today's topic. Today's topic, we are going to discuss sexuality, gender and asylum seekers amongst the LGBT. And why we are discussing this topic today, because tomorrow day, and that's why this week we are going to concentrate on refugees, and mostly the LGBT community. Refugees are mostly the LGBT. We are left out. We are not much concerned, like we are not much given opportunities, because some of the countries where we go, we get rejected. We are not even recognized as refugees, and that puts our lives in danger. So this is what we are going to discuss about today. Because we are refugees, mostly the LGBTQ, we are facing a lot of problems in refugee camps in the countries where we are. We are facing homophobic attacks. We at
Uh, Good evening, our viewers. Good evening, everyone, wherever you're watching from. By names, I'm Gaetano Abue Kango. You are most welcome on this show. I think maybe our host would be having a problem of internet issues because these days actually facing a lot of internet problems within Zambia. So, continuing with what the topic of today, we are looking at the gender. We are looking at sexuality, gender, and asylum seekers. Basically, being like this week is tomorrow is the World Refugee Day here in Zambia. So we needed actually to talk about that more so, focusing on the LGBTI plus community because in most of the people that always come to seek for asylum, we are always the victim of asylum seekers. However much even there are others that are there, but basically the LGBTI plus is amongst the people that they always uh, concentrate more on these other issues.
Kijk het meest uit naar de mensen langs de kant.
Genieten, jezelf zijn.
So as we are continuing, as we are celebrating the World Refugee Day here in Zambia by tomorrow, basically even this month is a Pride month actually for the LGBTQI plus community. So you just know that wherever in most of the countries people have already celebrated, others they are still organizing. Other countries also facing challenges, but what we know, like we shall at least have actually also a celebration here in Zambia, but we don't know yet where it will be. But what I've heard, we shall have it. So basically, when you go back to the today's topic, when you look at the intersection of sexuality, gender, and asylum seekers, actually, due to persecution, most of the people that always flee their countries, they don't flee because that they want. It's because of the hardships, because of the persecution they are going through, the violence, each and everything that they're going to, it makes them actually to leave their country so that they can run to other countries where they can seek asylum from. Because definitely if you're facing challenges of human rights within your country, you cannot seek asylum in your country, so you have to flee to another country where you'll have a peace of mind. However much even the countries where we flee to get asylum, maybe to seek asylum from, we also face challenges, but at least that those challenges, however much we face them, they are minimal, being that we have the protection of the government within that country, and also maybe UNHCR as an organization is also in part also plays a part in protecting us. So basically what we are going to talk about actually is we are going to talk about actually the challenges we do face when we leave our own countries to come and seek asylum in other countries where you're not a nation of that country. So it is always a hard thing. So we are going to talk at the UNHCR as a general. We are going to talk about the government as also part of it, because all those are stakeholders which are involved in everything that in everything that do happen with asylum seekers. They are also part of it. So basically, one of the points that I would say, we always have we always have a challenge of navigating complex asylum processes while dealing with trauma and mental health issues. You just imagine you've left your home country with a lot of trauma. You've come actually flee to seek for asylum in another country, a country of not of your origin, but at least a country whereby you know that you'll be a welcoming country. But to reaching that country, you face challenges. Like you look at UNHCR, you find like there are so many things that they do ask from us. There are so many things that they require for us to present at the days of interviews. You find like you're invited for interviews. Your day is scheduled for interviews. You go, you do your interviews with UNHCR, but at the end of the day, after presenting each and every after talking about each and every incident that happened to you, why you flee your country to come to this country to seek for asylum. At the end of it all, you find that UNHCR, instead of giving a mandate, or maybe instead of like recognizing you as a refugee, you find UNHCR is rejecting you. So at the end of it all, it makes the process really complex. It makes life hard for us as asylum seekers, because now if at all like you flee your country to come and seek for help, and where you gone to seek for help, at the end of it all you've stayed for good number of years being here waiting to do interviews, but at the end of it all you find like you are being rejected. So it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense for sure. We really need a little makes the life hard in each and everything that we do, so that at least they can help us and know that
us
if
as
we leave
asylum
our
seekers.
country,
Because now, if at all like you flee
we
your
don't
country to
leave
come
it
and
for
seek for
good. We
help,
come here while running. We are running from a lot of things that happen to us. First of all, you have the trauma of the incident that happened in your home country. Then find again actually you have mental issues, because from trauma you faces a lot of mental issues. You find that you have a lot in your mind. So at the end of it all, you find like most of the people think that we are not who we are, but it is who we are. But sometimes you find that what you've gone through make you to feel like you've gone mentally perturbed. So at the end of it all, instead of UNHCR helping us and maybe maybe simplifying the process for each other fleeing actually their country to come and seek for asylum, do you find that they're hardening the process for each and every one? So it is one of the challenges you are facing as asylum seekers. So it makes actually life hard for us. It makes actually to lose hope where we run actually where we expect to get home, where we expect to get hope, we find that we've lost hope. So UNHCR, I think like when you look at the logo of UNHCR, it said it's a home for the homeless. However much is a home for the homeless, at least they need to do something. So in terms actually, if you on top of that, you find that even the health issues that we do face. However much here in the refugee center we have a clinic whereby you are supposed to get fast treatment, but sometimes like people like me, I belong to the LGBTI plus community, so I cannot get treatment from the same place where other people or maybe people from the surrounding communities get treatment from. You find like at least there's some special care that I'm supposed to, maybe there's some other cases I'm supposed to explain to the people. You find even the people who are working with us, they're all homophobic about us. So it makes real life hard for us. So in that way actually it makes the process hard. So another thing actually I would talk about is risk of detention and mistreatment in asylum countries. You find like here in Zambia here, however much you try, like UNHCR officials always talk to us, the government officials always talk to us, you have to keep a low profile, what, but you cannot be you cannot be in one place throughout the year. From January to at least you need to move from one place to another. So in most times you find like if you move out and in case maybe you are caught, or maybe in case you've done any crime, maybe you've committed any crime outside the camp, you find like you'll be detained, you'll be arrested, or even migration basically can detain you. So you find like we are at risk of so many things in these countries, and also we are being mistreated by even if you are detained and you're taken to the police cells, actually police custody, you find like even the ones you are with in that custody, they will be one of the people that will mistreat you. Even the officers, actually the police officer, because even in Zambia here, Zambia is also against the anti-homosexuals. So being against the homosexuals, it means that even the police, you lack police protection, you lack legal protection against your human rights. So at the end of it all, even if you are mistreated, even if something is done to you, they don't care. After all, their country doesn't allow homosexuals to be in their country. So at the end of it all, we really face a lot of challenges. We really face a lot of challenges that we don't even know how the government can help us, because even the government cannot help us, because even if you faces challenges, there's no way that the government will help you. Like of recent, actually last week, we had one of our colleague, one of our family member, one of our person that belongs to our community was beaten up, was beaten brutally, actually was beaten badly. So at the end of it all, however much we do, however much we try and do each and everything, you find like there's nothing that we can do about that, because we are in a country that is against the homosexuals. So if you go and report to the police, how will they help you? Because they know the law. We have no legal protection. We have no police protection in this country. So at the end of it all, you find like we are so hurt by each and everything that is being done in this country. So allow me to stop here, so that maybe my colleague can also add something, or may can also say something. Basically, our host is having issues with network problems, but it doesn't mean that the show should stop here. So we shall continue to talk about actually the sexuality, gender, and asylum that we face as refugees at Crossroads. Thank you so much, our producer, for at least enabling us to be on this show amidst all the network issues that you're facing at the moment. We really appreciate you for the kind work, or for each and everything they're doing that side. Thank you so much. Let me allow my colleagues also to say something about this topic, today's topic.
Good evening once more. My name is Vincent. It is so sad and so hurting at heart to see the situation we go through as refugees, and this I talk about this out of experience. Have seen the life we have gone through here in Zambia as we came from Uganda and were seeking for asylum. One of the problems that I've faced personally, is the stigma and shame. You find that this nation, being that it is so-called a Christianity country, it is so homophobic. They have a lot of stigma against the LGBTQ community. They are too much of homophobic. So once they learn that you belong to the LGBTQ community, wherever you pass, they will be pointing fingers into you. Everyone will know that you are a homosexual. You go to certain shops, you go to some areas within the nearby trading centers, and when they know you, they don't want to give you full services. Even when you're taking your own money to buy something, they will seem to give you little, less, or none of care, exempting you from getting such a service. This is all because of stigma that is circulating within this country, and it is really something that is not good on our side. To make matters worse, like my colleague was explaining, that tomorrow it is a World Refugee Day. There are celebrations. I have seen somewhere people were within this area, they were preparing for the day celebrations of the day tomorrow. But it hurts me so much that even our fellow refugees who are heterosexuals, whom we are in the same community here as refugees, they also discriminate us. They are also against us. I've seen them trying to make groups, registering people who are going to participate in the celebrations, but they excluded us. They excluded us, meaning for us, we are not going to participate into that ceremony. Yet we belong to the same community as refugees. So this is all what we are facing as a result of being asylum seekers from LGBTQ community in Zambia, and I'm sure it is in other different countries of Africa, because people are really suffering the homophobic communities, which is general in Africa. Another thing that I've seen, which is also a big challenge, is a language barrier. I have found an issue of language, in that when we reach in a country like this, when we reached here, not everyone can speak English. And actually, these people, the nationals of this country, they like their local languages. He comes, you speak to him in English, for him or her keeps on replying in their language. You don't pick their words, you don't understand them, and sometimes when they learn that we don't know that language, even when they know English, he will speak his language because he just doesn't want to speak much with you. They know you are homosexual, you are abominable, you're some, I don't know, they take us to be like someone who is cursed, so they don't want to give you much of their time. So you find that language also becomes a very difficult situation for us in accessing certain things, which is also bringing hardship in our lives here. Maybe another issue that I've noticed, it is about getting limited services and failure to be given access to work or to enjoy certain services. As we are here, we were openly told that even being in this country, it is a crime already. For us, having landed in this country and we are labeled as homosexuals, it is a crime. So only that one exempts us from getting any service. One, you cannot work, you cannot involve in any employment, any work. You cannot access bank because they will ask you for papers, of which it is asylum seek certificate. You are not allowed to access bank when you have it. You cannot access moving. Let me say you have got one of a friend, you cannot move freely because this country has gotten a lot of barriers on the roadblocks for the immigration officers. So they usually get people and ask for their papers. Once they learn that you are a refugee, they just detain you. They say we are supposed to be within camps, no going outside the camp. It is only those people who have been given status by the government here, and they have been given white cards. Only those ones are allowed to work, and they are also allowed to move. But the rest, as long as we are holding asylum seeker certificates, we are supposed to sit in the camp without making any movement that is more than 1 kilometer. So that is a challenge and is really causing a lot of anxiety, stress, and living when you don't know what is next, living when you don't know what is coming tomorrow. So it is really giving us hard time, and of course it is a harsh situation, a harsh life experience that we are going through currently. That is what I can share now. Let's go on back to you guys.
Thank you so much, our panelist Vincent, for sharing those views with us. Basically, actually, our host is also facing challenges of network, but at least right now he has gotten back on air. So let's connect with him so that he can hear also what he's going to say about today's topic. Dennis, I hope Dennis, you can hear me. Dennis, if you can hear me, you can take over the show. However much we have actually we've talked about the challenges we do face, as in like in terms of gender, sexuality, and the asylum seekers. So basically, we are also inviting you maybe to add on something. At least we've spoken something. We've shared our views, we've shared our ideas about what we faces here in Zambia, where we are seeking asylum from, what we go through. So maybe you can also add up from there and say something so that people can also get to hear from you.
Thank you very much, Gaetano. Thank you very much, Vincent. Truly, as I told you when I was beginning the show today, I'm sorry the network is bad. Since yesterday, we are facing the challenge of network. And I told you that tomorrow we are celebrating World Refugees Day. And we are now, like here in Zambia, we as the LGBT community, we haven't seen any official from the government or from the government, like from the office where we are, the camp where we are residing. We haven't seen any official from UNHCR coming to invite us for this function. I was wondering, if we are counted as refugees in this country or asylum seekers, because today I saw some people around the camp with papers signing on papers, preparing for tomorrow's event, but they haven't contacted any person from the LGBT community. That means we are left behind in everything, because some people they are given chances to go outside and work, to get something to do, but for us as the LGBT community, there is nothing that we are benefiting. Since last year, we haven't get a promise that UNHCR is supposed to give us to survive on. Now, I don't know how do they think that we are surviving in this country. You told them you are sorry, you don't have anyone behind you. Now, if you let someone to spend more than 6 months, 3 months, and you are not supporting this person, how do you think that this person is surviving? That's why most of the people you find they are committing suicide in these refugee camps. They become thieves, thugs in the country. So these are the causes, because they are not benefiting what they are supposed to benefit. When you talk to officials of UNHCR, they will just tell you we are lack of funds. But your lack of funds, you officials are not getting paid. I don't think that there is any official of UNHCR who can sit in that office without not getting paid. And most of them, you find that most of them, they are citizens and they are paid a lot of money. But you find that the small money that they are supposed even to give us, it's not given in time. So I don't know how do they think that we survive. So that's what I can say. I think we are going for a short break. Then we shall come back with the solutions and the remarks. Then we will end up the show. And I still wish you a happy Pride Month, because this whole month it's for Pride. And the good thing that Pride Month happens alongside with the World Refugees Day. So that's why today we are having these topics. together with Pride Month and World Refugees Day. Thank you. Welcome back from that. As you can see, that is one of the videos from one of the Pride celebrations where we here we can't celebrate it. We can't have it. We can't exercise our rights. So And again, on our topic of today, as we are more concentrating on World Refugees Day, we were brought from our safe house this year in January, and we were promised you're going to sleep in these tents for 1 month, and you'll be out of those tents in 1 month, and we get for you safe rooms. But till now, we are still facing challenges in these tents. We came during dry season where you couldn't even stay in those tents during daytime. You couldn't enter, because if you enter in that tent during that dry season, you could just be like as if you are in a frying pan. That season went off. Now we are in winter season. We are now facing a challenge of freezing. As if you enter in the tent at night, you just feel you are entering a deep freezer. And whenever we try to talk to them, they tell us, we are still preparing for relocation. Then we get for you space where to sleep. Next week it becomes next week. Next month become next month. That means it will be next year. Now I'm asking myself, you are just let people sitting there. They don't do interviews. You don't give them interviews. You don't give them what to eat. You don't give them anything. You just let them there sit, and you don't know how do they survive. But you are just giving them promises. You don't do anything. Next week becomes next week. Next month becomes next month. So really, we are facing challenges as refugees, and mostly as the LGBT community. We are facing a lot of challenges, because I remember in the same camp there was an empty room. Some people left, were located, and they locked this room. But some of the LGBTQ members, they went to ask to request for this room. They refused to give out that room. But some new members who are not even belonging to the community, they just came and they gave them that room. But for us, we are just here. We are just still in the tent suffering, and they are not even doing anything about it. The only issue they tell us, they are lack of funds. You are lack of funds, but you get fuel for cars. How do you keep moving up and down? Each car there is fuel, but you cannot even give these people what to eat. So my issue is, I would request at least UNHCR, if they cannot sustain us for long, then let them give us interviews. Then they give us decisions and leave our country and leave their country as soon as possible. That's what I could suggest as me. If they cannot sustain us, they cannot give us food, they cannot give us enough security, then let them work on us quickly so that we can leave the country as soon as possible. Because if someone stays in this situation, you may become a thug, you may become a thief, because you are looking for how to survive. Thank you very much. Let me get back to my panelists over there. They can also give us what they think, what would be the solution.
Thank you once more. Dennis has talked about something to do with the winter here. Maybe I know some people are watching us in some parts of the world. It is summer, people are enjoying summer, and you can wonder when we say that there is winter here. What I can say, winter experience here in South African region, it is different from other parts of the world. It is not the other winter of snows. but it is just a situation where it is a dry season, but there is too much of cold winds. It may actually be a shiny day, but when it is too cold and when you cannot even feel the sun that is shining on you, when you're only freezing. So that is the winter that we go through here. It is so unfortunate, like he was explaining, that we are not being cared for. No help. For example, we last received the little money for CBI in January. Besides that, they don't give us food or any other thing to support us. Like I was explaining in previous explanations, I was saying that here we have the issue of stigma from the community. We don't even know, we don't all have any way we can look for a way to survive. So with that regard, talking about the solutions, one of the things that I can ask is from UN. I ask that UN should consider us, at least let them move our cases, and we know that our cases are being worked on, rather than sitting, no care, no help, and no response. It really discourages. We don't know where we are going. We don't know where we are, what is next. Then secondly, I would call for empowerment programs through UN and local governments, especially here in Zambia, whereby they can let us refugees express our experiences, because most of people, being a refugee, it is not a curse, it is not being a fool. Most of refugees are educated. People being tortured are refugees, but they are holding degrees, they are holding different careers, they are holding experiences in certain work departments. So if they can allow people to express their capability to do, and allow them to work and give them opportunities, that can really support refugees, and we can feel helped. We can feel that we are humans, and it can at a certain level also relieve and release some amount of stress that we are carrying in our hearts. That is what I can say for now. Let me go back to Gaetano.
Thank you so much, our viewers, wherever you're watching from. Thank you so much. Being a Pride week, and being a Pride month and a World Refugee Day, we really appreciate you all for following us on all our social media platform, like the Zambian, Uganda Zambian Coalition for Refugees, and also following HTV on each and every platform, like on TikTok, on Facebook, on website, and all other platforms that on YouTube. Please remember to follow them, and remember to subscribe on all their platform on YouTube. Basically talking about the solution that we should always do. When you look at this country being like a country, it's against the homosexuals. First of all, actually, it's all about actually the government working hand in hand actually with the local organization within the country, so that they can see how they can support us. If at all like UNHCR takes long to give us support, and you have a local organization that deal with the LGBTI plus community, and they are able to support them, why do you hinder their support from coming? Why don't you give them the offer, maybe the opportunity, so that they can support us, so that we cannot be like we can get that food relief fund, or maybe any kind of support, whether it is counseling, whether it is health concern, because really we go through a lot here. But you find like even here, this country being a Christian nation, they say that they are Christian, it is a Christian country. But if you look at the Christian country they are talking about, you find that they have a lot of people that belong to the LGBTI community. There are so many gays in this country. There are so many lesbians. There are so many bisexual. There are so many transgender in this country. But because of the country that they are born in, they cannot come out to say that this is who we are. This is where we belong. Even the local organizations that are really there to support us, they cannot support us because of the strict laws of this country. So it makes us actually feel so traumatized, feel so depressed, feel so a lot of things that go always into our minds. We faces challenges of mental issues because initially, actually, if at all we flee our country, we've come as refugees actually in this country, and we are unable to get support from UNHCR, either the government of Uganda. So the best place where we can run to is running to the local LGBTI organization within the country and the community around, maybe to support us, whether with food, whether with any kind of support that they give to us is really beneficial to us. But you find here it is one of the challenges. Then when you talk about actually the mental, we are at least UNHCR should establish maybe a weekly or a monthly mental counseling session for us, the LGBTI community, because you flee your country, you've run from trauma, you've run from mental health issues, so you reach here, you find like even the process is also becoming a little bit complex for you. You have nowhere to go to, maybe to get some help, maybe you have no one to talk to. So at the end of it, you'll find like you're depressed. Remember, you've lost, actually the depression comes when you've lost your family. Then the trauma comes maybe like when at all, like whatever you go through, maybe the arrest, the detention, and each and everything that happens to you, the anxiety that you get, all those kind of things come from everything that happens within your life in the day-to-day life lifestyle. So you find like it is really hard. If at all like UNHCR can work with other supportive organization or maybe other health organization, maybe to support us, maybe to counsel us mentally, it would be really improve us. And also another thing I would talk about would be like UNHCR actually simplifying on the process, simplifying on the asylum process, because basically someone cannot leave their own country on their own wish. We leave our own country on so many issues that make us to leave our own country. Like for us, because of our sexual orientation, because of gender identity. That's one of the reasons that made us to leave our country, because you have no freedom in our country to express ourselves the way we want. So one of the, like if at all UNHCR, I come here to seek for asylum, then you complex the process, the asylum process. It really traumatizes me. It really depresses me a lot, because I've run for help. Where I also expect to get help is things are becoming hard. Now, where else do you expect me to run? Where else do you want me to go and seek for help from? Because I know if you look at the logo of UNHCR, it is a home for the homeless. Yes, if it is a home for the homeless, you need to care about us. Because I know there are so many people that support UNHCR when they hear about like we have a group of LGBTI community within Zambia. I know there are so many international organizations that support UNHCR because of us. But if at all the support they are sending to us, we are unable to get them, then it doesn't make sense for UNHCR to keep us within this country, where we are not having food, where we are facing challenges of shelter, where we are facing challenges of weather, because right now in winter, we have nothing. Even if they give us blankets, the UNHCR blankets are nothing to this kind of weather, because we are not used to this kind of weather. However much where we are going, we expect it, but it is not like here. Here we are going through a lot. We go through a lot of pain. We go through a lot of trauma. We go through a lot of depression. So UNHCR has failed to help us. Instead of keeping us here for long, it is better you work on us. It is better you push our files, because you are getting a lot of money out of us. We are here going through a lot. You are making us to sit here. You are giving people rejections. For what? What reason would you, what basics would you base on maybe to give someone rejection? Yes, someone has explained to you. However much you are complexing each and everything. So it is always easy. It is always easy for UNHCR to simplify the process for us, to simplify each and everything. We are having no legal protection in this country. Even the police, everything is just so. UNHCR, however much you see in this country, if you are detained, if you are gotten on the road and maybe you've gone somewhere and you are detained, fine, UNHCR can get you out of that place, but it takes them time. It takes them time. So we need legal advisors. We need advocates who can really fight for our rights, who can really fight for us in this country. We really need help. Me, my calling is all about, I call upon all international organizations, I call all the human rights activists, I call all the human rights advocates to come and fight for us. We are here in a country whereby you are facing a lot of challenges. Right now, if we sit down to talk about all the challenges we are going through, we cannot finish it because there are a lot that we go through. It's only you who can help us, because the funds you do send to UNHCR that supports us, we don't receive the funds. We know you give them the funds, but it's better to follow up and get to know whether the funds you are sending for us really helps us, because UNHCR has really made us to sit here for long. No interviews, nothing, no support from them. So it makes us really to get depressed. It makes us actually to lose our minds. Sometimes we even think of committing suicide. But then UNHCR should come and at least have actually a solution for each and everything that happened in this place. Let them work on us so that we can leave this country. If at all they are talking about like they lack funds, let them work on us, we leave this country. Because first of all, we are asylum seekers. If at all they can discriminate us from attending the World Refugee Day, yet they call us to be refugees, yet they are taking some groups of people. Why us? Why always us? Why always LGBTI community that is facing all the challenges? It's facing the discrimination, it's facing the violence, it's facing a lot of legal issues. So we have nothing in this country. The only place where we can have maybe freedom, where we can have our human rights, it's maybe when you've left this country to Europe countries. That's where we can exercise all our human rights. But in this country, it's never, and it will never happen. Thank you so much for watching us. I remain Gaetano as the host, as the one of the panelists of today's show. Thank you so much, our viewers, and thank you so much, producer. Thank you, Mr. Kato, and all those people that we work hand in hand with. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Gaetano and Vincent. As you have heard the challenges that we are facing, at least I can say, because all challenges are not the same, problems are not the same, and they are not equal. Because you find you have left your country and you are here in Zambia, you are just alone. But there is those people you find they are left their country with children. Now, how do you think that these children, this person, and how this, you haven't accepted this person to work, you haven't accepted this person any kind of help. These kids, they have rights to go to school, they have to study, they have rights to eat, they have rights to dress, they have. So how do you think that this person is going to take care of these kids? And they are having a department of children. What does that department do? Which responsibility of that department that take? Because you find someone is having kids, they are supposed to be at school, and you find that UNHCR is not even giving them school fees. Is not giving them school fees, is not giving them food. So how do they expect that these people do survive? They are talking about early marriage. So if a parent accepts her children to get married so that at least one of the kids is left. So we are really facing a lot of challenges as refugees, and mostly the LGBTQ community. But we really call upon funders that support UNHCR at least to follow up, as my fellow Gaetano as he said, at least to do a follow-up and see if the funds that they give to each community. Those people, those funders that give UNHCR, that gives UNHCR support for the LGBT community, they should start investigating. They should follow up. They should come to these camps and sit with the group as if they receive their funds, because we really face a lot of challenges in these refugee camps. So you find someone leave the country when he's already infected, when someone is already HIV positive. Because I'm here, I can't get someone who can invite me to have sex with, and I reach there, he has promised me money. He doesn't want to wear a condom. I will just accept because I need money. Even if I know that this person maybe is positive, I will have to sleep with this person and get that money from there because they need something to survive on. You find yourself that you have left the country when your life is already infected. So I would call upon the funders to do a follow-up on the money that they send for the community, because we know that the UNHCR as UNHCR doesn't support us alone. It gets funds from other funders. So these funders, they should start doing their follow-up to find if the services that they give, because this year they brought for us a new protection officer. Since she came, she met us in February, I think, yeah, because she reported in January. She came in Feb, and she was telling us we are doing monitoring and evaluation, blah blah. If you people receive the services that you are supposed to receive, they do meetings, but they don't do what we tell them that we are challenged. We are facing as challenges. Now I ask myself, me sometimes I don't even go to their meetings because it's a wastage of time. They call you for meetings, they don't. You go, you talk what you are supposed to talk, but that's the end of it. For them, they go back in their offices and do their accountability. And for you stay here for 3 years, 4 years, people given rejections. In their law, in the act of UNHCR, it says in 3 months this person has to be given another decision. Then what is the UNHCR? What's the work of that person? You find someone gets a rejection and again stays in the country for more than 3 years without even any notice that this is what next for you. So we are really facing a lot of challenges as refugees, as LGBT community. I'm going to stop from here, and I'm going to thank everyone who has been viewing and those who will view after. Thank you very much. Please comment. You can subscribe to all our channels and you can comment. See you on Saturday. This is the show has been This Is Me Talk Show, together with HTV and Uganda Zambia Coalition Forum for Refugees. Thank you.
Welkom bij de Utrecht Pride 2024.
Kijk het meest uit naar de mensen langs de kant.
Genieten, jezelf zijn.
Als je die stad inkomt en al die mensen, jongen, dat is echt zo fantastisch.
betekent voor onze stad eigenlijk ons DNA. We zijn een mensenrechtenstad. We roeien soms wel een beetje terug in de tijd. En daar maak ik me zorgen over. Dus stay strong en laten we elkaar vasthouden en vechten voor die gelijkheid.
It's amazing for me, really amazing. Better than what I expected.
Ja, ik denk dat er nog best wel veel gewonnen kan worden eigenlijk.
The Netherlands are such an accepting country compared to Poland, and it's just important to celebrate, you know, our pride.
Om in zo'n grote stad zo groot te vieren, dat vind ik heel mooi.
Zij had het over het terrein hier naartoe, dat steeds minder jongeren eigenlijk openstaan voor de LGBTQ+ gemeenschap. Dus het is zeker ook wel nodig om dit soort dagen nog te hebben.
It's lovely, it's full of energy. You belong!
Wat een magische ervaring. Wij zijn helemaal over de mond.
Het plezier op de boot was zo geweldig.
De leuke kleine interacties met mensen die dan aan de zijkant staan. Ja, superleuk.
Waanzinnig gezellig. Het was zo leuk, zo divers.
There was no sunlight, but we were shining, so that was amazing.
Dit is gewoon Pride zoals Pride bedoeld was.
Het aftellen begint.
Het aftellen begint.
Voor volgend jaar.